because students, there you go, 200 students packed in to doing some raving, as cases saw. That's 200 students at Coventry University. That's a bunch of people not understanding the concept of being sent to Coventry. It means you're meant to be on your own. But look, because these young, you can see they're raving. You can tell they're students. They're holding phones. And it's terrible. And look, I get annoyed by that news story because I can see why young people think, well, I'm not likely to die from it, so blow a whistle, throw some shapes. And that's like a driver saying, well, it's not often the driver who dies when they hit a pedestrian, so brum brum. No, it's about saving other people. And actually, I'm glad I mentioned cars. So often you hear cars used as the example for why we shouldn't be doing as much lockdown. Yeah. Like, people die on the road every day, and we don't ban driving. No, but we do put a lot of restrictions in. There's loads of them. You have a speed limit. You have to stick to the road. There's a good one. You can't just go driving through a shopping centre. You have to do MOTs. There are so many restrictions to keep it in place, and we do that willingly because it saves lives. We should do the same with coronavirus. And in many ways, they're quite similar, because no one minds wearing a seatbelt, and a seatbelt's actually more restrictive than wearing a mask. And you're also not allowed to drive your car into a group of 6 or more people.
True.
So, look, I'm glad I got that out there. That's been bothering me for ages, all the anti-maskers doing their car thing. But, so all these students are following someone who's setting a bad example. We know how impressionable young people are. Who possibly could be setting the scene badly? Oh, it's Boris Johnson's dad. Front page of the Mirror today. When's your dad getting a fine? He's not. It was, the news broke earlier. They're not going to investigate this at all. He was not wearing a mask. But for political balance that you'll always find here on Comic Solving Problems, Jeremy Corbyn's the front page of The Sun today. It's a dinner party with 9 people, because one of them's the photographer there. And look, it's not the first party that's been made worse by him being part of it. But it's difficult, isn't it? They're breaking the rules, and it does seem like one rule for them, one rule for the rest of us. If we did any of those, we'd be getting a fine straight away. And it's not right. We should give them some credit. They've not tried to come up with some BS about it being an eye test. But actually, I would rather they tried to come up with a flim-flam excuse. Put some work in, because they've both just apologised, and they'll get away scot-free. And I say no. Stanley, if you want to go in a shop without a mask, find a loophole. You're allowed to go into a restaurant without a mask, so if you want to go into a shop without one, take a 3-course meal with you. Put some effort in. Corbyn, you want to have a dinner party with more than 6 people, say you're on the lookout for a grouse. It's allowed then, and if suddenly one turns up, oh, there it is on the table right in front of him.
There you go.
He's not going to kill it, he's a vegan. But it's the thought that counts, isn't it? So as much as we can get really upset and angry about all of these bad role models, I wanted to find a positive thing to do on the show. And we found a role model, a celebrity, who has said a nice thing. John Bon Jovi was interviewed on Sky News, and he says a Corona mask is a fashion accessory. It's not a sacrifice. It's not that hard. Finally, someone talking sense. I've got a clip from the interview. Here's what he said.
You have a little piece of cloth on your nose. It's not a big deal. It's not a great sacrifice.
Yeah, doesn't matter what you look like. And if anyone is an expert on realizing it doesn't matter what you look like, it's a man who had a mullet all the way through the 90s, far longer than you should have had. So
what's wrong with the mullet?
He's done it. John Bon Jovi has said, wear a mask. But then, to be fair, he also once said, your love is like bad medicine. Bad medicine is what I need. Whoa, 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 shake it up just like bad medicine. There ain't a doctor that can cure my disease. So should we really trust him on medical issues?